Hi, I'm Jen Swenson from Enthusia Coaching, and I've created this video to help you to create a productive and fulfilling day. This video has really come out of my clients and I being a bit frustrated about how we don't achieve what we really want to, and we can get bogged down in all the urgent stuff, but we don't achieve the things that are really important. And often people who have a big role, like a leadership role in their organisation, find it difficult to get through all of the little bits and pieces that make up their role and get overwhelmed and go home feeling a bit worse for wear because they don't feel that they've progressed any during the day. So I've created a resource called a Daily Success Planner based on what I've learned, and I've just been tweaking it over the last couple of weeks and working with it and found that it's created real momentum in the day. So why would you choose to be outcome-based rather than task-orientated? Well, you actually achieve results, which builds a momentum and creates greater productivity, and it gives you a sense of achievement and fulfillment. So here's how you use your Daily Success Planner. Number one, mind map. Get all those scattered thoughts, all those bits and pieces that are in your head that will prevent you from sleeping out of your head. I tend to mind map last thing of the day and get everything that's in here down on paper. Just write it down, all the steps, and it clears my head so I have a beautiful sleep. Number two, next morning I get up, have my glass of water or my cup of coffee, and I sit and then arrange the day. I schedule the day. So those things in my mind map, 3 big outcomes I want to achieve for the day. When I get into my office, I put as the top 3 outcomes on the top of the schedule. Then the next thing I do is I block off certain sections and plan my day. And I work that in with the to-do list down the bottom. There might be other bits and pieces that are important that you need to complete that are probably not as top priority as your outcomes, but they are like you need that reminder. The second thing is I write calls and emails that need to be made, and I too also schedule those in. Now, if there's anything for the next day or that come up for you, there's note sections and reminder sections on that form, so I just put those in there. But often if there's something that I know, like an appointment for the next day, and I'm just reminded of it as I'm thinking through things, I slot that into my mind map for the next day and put it in the schedule because I know that that's already an appointment being made. And if I've got to do anything, an outcome, complete something in order to present at that appointment, I schedule that in. So it's a great way of being forward thinking and clearing your mind. And I usually print off 5 or 7 of them because I actually do them for every day, not just for Monday to Friday. And I fill them out with the dates and everything. So it's kind of like a diary, and I carry that around with me because I'm based at home quite often. And what I'll do is as I think of things, I'll write it on my mind map. So here's some tips to create even greater productivity in your day. I tend to break up my day into 4 zones. I have a morning and an afternoon productivity zone, and then I have a time in between those times to review and renew, and just before the end of the day, I plan for the next day. So it gives me purpose in what I'm doing, and it helps me to clearly define my boundaries and what I'm actually doing in those sections of the day. And it actually works really well when you're working with people in your team, because they know that if you're got the door closed and you're not answering your phone, you're actually on task. So you can actually create an environment and a culture for productivity in your environment, and it's clearly defined and clearly communicated. So you will find that at first people won't like it, but you'll actually know what you're doing during the day. So in that first zone, you eat the frog first. Those top 3 outcomes on the top of your page, they're the things that you complete. And anything that's a KPI of your role, you complete those in that morning zone. So that will be the first 2 to 3 hours that you're in the office. Then after coffee break, you have that review and renew section where you look at your emails and you action them you make phone calls, and you then plan or review what you're doing in your next productive section. So just before you go to lunch, you're clear on what you're going to do when you come back. And then you have your productivity zone in the afternoon after lunch. And then finally, that last hour before you go home, you get out your mind map for the next day and you put in those actions and outcomes, and again, the cycle begins. And finally, one important thing is to acknowledge your progress and look at what you have achieved each day. So in that last planning session before the end of the day, is you look at the mind map and you look at your success planner for the day and look at all the things that you've achieved and the progress you've made, and acknowledge yourself for what you've done. It actually gives you that sense of fulfillment. And when you then drive home to your loved ones or to your housemates, at least when they ask you how your day was, you've got some things that you're grateful for. So that's how you create a productive and fulfilling day. I'd like to offer you the PDF and Excel template of the Daily Success Planner. So please send an email to success@enthusiacoaching.com and you'll have those in your inbox very shortly. Bye.